We have some music going on in the station this morning.
That's right. Patty Horn's warming up because later on she's going to entertain all the kids and the parents. You want to gather them around the set because she's great. She sings about the desert.
Yeah.
So that was a little tease for you there.
Just a little one. But first, we're talking about 3 on Your Side. They got a huge response to one of their recent stories, a government program that gives $50,000 to people who lived in parts of our state during the 1950s and 60s.
So this morning, Rich Skidmore explains how to tell if you're entitled and the easiest way to collect if you are.
Kelly Casper remembers the day her mother was diagnosed with cancer. In her lungs at first, but it spread quickly, and within 6 months, she was dead.
She's just a good person, She died pretty young. She was 59 when she died.
While Kelly still thinks about her mother's battle, she's troubled more after learning that the apparent cause was the air she breathed.
But now looking back on it, that's kind of frightening, especially with my mother dying of cancer.
Kelly is one of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands, who may qualify for up to $50,000. Her family lived in northern Arizona during the height of the Cold War, exposed to the fallout from nuclear testing. As a 41-year-old surviving child, she's filing a claim with the federal government.
Well, at first, when they first tell you, you get so scared because cancer is a word that, oh my God, I'm going to die.
It was Sylvia Mead's story last month that prompted Kelly and many others to call 3 on Your Side.
My father had lung cancer. My grandmother had stomach cancer. My Aunt Manuela had ovarian cancer. Uncle Tony, Uncle Joe, cousins. The whole family's been plagued with cancer.
As it did in Sylvia's case, cancer turned Kelly's life upside down. So the question is, do you qualify? And if so, how do you go about filing for a settlement? 3 on Your Side wanted to know how the process worked. So we followed the instructions and ordered a claims packet.
You have reached the Radiation Exposure Compensation Program.
The first step, calling a toll-free number and spending 5 minutes on the phone.
They ask for your name and address and phone number, and then they say they'll send out a package to you. They don't tell you how long it'll take to get sent out. They don't tell any kind of details.
To get the details, we contacted a lawyer in Globe who's handling claims in Gila County. He tells us you can hire a lawyer to do the groundwork for you, but it's not necessary. Also, that you can expect this 21-page claims packet from the government within 10 days of calling. The forms seem pretty simple and tell you what personal documents to gather to file a claim. Kelly Casper has ordered the forms, and if she's approved, she'll split the $50,000 with her brother. She plans to buy a new home, something she says her mother would want.
Had my mother lived and was still alive at this point, Jake and I would probably be living with her. And so seems the best thing to do to use the money to get us into a place that would be our own.
Now, Rich says the law reads, attorneys who help file claims should only charge 2%.
And be aware, it could take more than a year to process your claim, so there may be some waiting involved here.
Yep. We've got a fresh look at news straight ahead.
Plus, in the next half hour, Chef Irving Oliver from Sam's Cafe, one of my favorite places, is cooking up some shrimp kebabs. Good morning, guys.
And Paddy Horn, of course, is going to be
singing about the desert.
Singing, yeah, exactly. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Arizona.
Welcome back, everyone. Time to take a look at news on a Sunday morning. It was party after party for people celebrating the luck of the Irish.
Yeah, a lot of folks celebrating with drink in hand, but partiers were not the only ones out and about. The East Valley DUI Task Force was out as well, hoping to keep those who celebrated too much from getting behind the wheel. They set up a DUI checkpoint in Mesa to nab excessive St. Patrick's Day revelers who've chosen to drive.
We came out here from 11 to 2:30. 7 of us, we got 25 in that short amount of time.
The task force had more than 10 arrests last night and had 25 on Friday night.
The St. Patrick's Day Fund made it hard for emergency vehicles to keep up. The 911 system was overloaded with calls yesterday due to a large number of accidents and other emergencies.
Our system at this point appears to have a little bit of an overload, and maybe it's just a weekend type thing.
Now, response times were delayed because there were not enough ambulances for all the calls. Emergency rooms were also unusually full yesterday.
The chief deputy of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department could get his $120,000 annual salary back, plus $93,000 in back pay. In November of 1999, the Board of Supervisors cut Dave Hendershot's pay after he was accused of double dipping. Hendershot, who retired from the sheriff's office, collected his $51,000 annual pension, then went back to work in the same job. Hendershot said the arrangement was legal and sued the sheriff's office after his salary was cut. A Superior Court judge agreed and ordered the board to negotiate a new salary. The board will consider a settlement on Wednesday.
And from CNN this morning, energy analysts say OPEC's latest cutback in oil production shouldn't have a major impact on gas prices. The oil cartel met yesterday in Vienna, Austria to discuss the cut. The group agreed to cut production by 4% or 1 million barrels a day starting April 1st. The Bush administration calls the decision disappointing and says it shows a need to boost domestic production of oil.
Space module Leonardo is back aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery, loaded now with trash and dirty laundry. These are pictures of the flight crew closing up Leonardo. The move to send the module back was delayed more than 5 hours because of a hose that might have been leaking from the space station, and software concerns on the Discovery prompted a test of the computers. Experts at Mission Control feared the software may have been corrupted by the astronauts' hasty reactivation of two computers earlier in the day. No problems, however, were found during that test. The Space Shuttle Discovery will begin its flight back to Earth tonight.
Well, NASA says the Galileo spacecraft is a high-tech version of the Energizer Bunny. NASA is now extending its mission around Jupiter for the third time. Launched in 1989, Galileo's original mission was over 97, but the billion-dollar spacecraft just won't give up. Despite being battered by radiation, Galileo continues to send back information about Jupiter and its moons. Don't look for another extension, though. NASA plans to send Galileo on a suicide plunge into the giant planet on August 2003.
And hey, Sam, speaking of stars, they were shining at the Arizona Biltmore last night. There he is, still the greatest, Muhammad Ali, on hand for Fight Night, honoring those who've dedicated themselves to finding a cure for Parkinson's disease. Many other celebrities were on hand to support the cause. The event, hosted by Larry King, awarded several people for their involvement, including Michael J. Fox there, who received the Muhammad Ali Humanitarian Award. To date, Fight Night has raised almost $4 million for charity.
Well, it seems like more and more women in the Valley are pregnant and getting ready to have babies. They are. The number of babies born annually in Arizona has swelled nearly 20% in the past 10 years. The Arizona Department of Health Services says births were at 67,000 in 1989, more than 80,000 in 1999, and nearly 85,000 last year. You better watch the water.
And in other health news today, a new study says having sex regularly may keep you looking sexy. According to a Scottish researcher, couples who made love 3 times a week on a regular basis had less wrinkles than less active people. During the 10-year study, the researcher interviewed 3,500 people and found a vigorous sex life was the second best way to stay young-looking. Exercise and physical activity, of course, came in first. You can check out the study in a book called Secrets for the Super Young. That probably made some people pretty happy.
Well, if
to
they're
hear that
inside
study.
while they're there while they're involved in that activity, they're inside, so they're not in the sun, and that also is conducive to less aging over time.
Very good. That was good. I like that. All right, enough. It's Sunday morning, people. All right, every week, hundreds of magazines seem to tout the newest diet, but how do you know which one will work?
Well, Marty Velasco-Hames found some volunteers to try out their self-control in a diet from Self magazine.
Yes, you are so cute. They're the best of friends. Shannon and Julie have been there for each other through babies, through weddings, and now through their latest venture to lose weight.
Shannon actually brought it up to me, and it was something that we could do together, that we could, feed off of each other and, inspire each other, motivate each other to do it.
Both ladies want to lose about 30 pounds in the next 3 months. And here's how they plan to do it, with the help of this month's issue of Self magazine and a featured article called Makeover Your Body.
This is the perfect plan because it incorporates exercise and nutrition and nothing out of the ordinary. You don't have to deprive yourself.
The magazine will take you step by step, week by week, through different workouts. 3 days a week, you're supposed to do up to 30 minutes of a cardiovascular workout. Then, twice a week, they recommend 30 minutes of strength training. And don't forget about flexibility. They recommend at least 10 minutes twice a week. Basically, you're doing some sort of exercise for 5 days a week. There's also a nutritional guide with recommended calories to keep you on track.
The nutrition is going to be the hardest for me, but this has good ideas and portion sizes and how to maintain the starches and the carbohydrates and the proteins and things like that.
Shannon and Julie are already 2 weeks into the plan, and Julie has already lost 4.5 pounds. Shannon's results are coming a little slower. She's not getting discouraged, as long as they have each other for support.
Well, we're going to check in with Julie and Shannon's progress in about a month. And if you'd like to try out the diet, you can find it in this month's Self magazine, now available at your local newsstands.
Still ahead on Good Morning Arizona, we'll take you to a birthday party you won't soon forget. And street surfers, take note, the city of Gilbert has a new place to shred. And
hi, I'm Lucretia. We're from the fashion class at Metro Tech, and we're this week's focus of Hurrah.
Good morning, Arizona. It's Sunday.
It was not too long ago this home sweet home sat empty. Then she moved in. This is Audrey Raines, and it took her only 6 months to pull her home together. I became aware of Audrey through her daughter. She sent me an email and told me how totally impressed she was with her mom, and I have to say I agree. Audrey loves to add a special touch to her home and encourages others to do the same.
I'd love to encourage all women to be creative. Don't be afraid, just try it. And the worst thing will happen is you'll have to paint over the top of it. It's a lot of fun.
Audrey has a way of finding inexpensive decor and making it look expensive and elegant. And if she can't find it, she'll make it.
And one of my favorite things is the stencil that I put up here at the very top of the ceiling. When you want to do a stencil and you can't find in the stores something you like, get you a poster board and draw your design out and cut it out with a carpet knife.
You'll find Audrey's handiwork all through the house. She made the window treatments in the kitchen and used her flair to decorate with inexpensive finds. In the guest bedroom, Audrey couldn't find just the right bedspread, so she just bought 2 and stitched them together. Audrey's one of those gals who never stops. As a matter of fact, one night, her husband went to bed, and when he woke up, Audrey had stenciled the entire bedroom while he was sleeping. There is not one room in her home that has not been touched. Audrey has made decorating a hobby, and she's good at it. This is the 6th home Audrey has transformed to her liking, and we're not just talking paint either. When she moved in, the backyard was just dirt. I'll tell you this much, it doesn't take long for Audrey to turn her home sweet home into something special.
Also something special in our studios today, Paddy Horn.
Yes, we always love it when Paddy visits.
Well, I always love to visit, so.
We're glad you're here, but of course this is just a prelude to what you're going to be doing later today.
Right. That's right. I'm going to be doing a concert over at Borders in Chandler on Ray Road at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 p.m. And what it is about is it's celebrating Explorers Month and Literacy Month, you know, because it was Dr. Seuss's birthday this month. And a lot of the schools and a lot of the bookstores are celebrating reading and promoting literacy. And since I write lyrics and my songs teach about the desert, you know, it's perfect. So they asked me to be a guest.
That is really cool. And kids love you because you sing about their home. I mean, folks that have moved to Arizona or natives, you know, you make it special because you talk about javelina and all the little lizard life and all the fauna, flora and fauna that surround them.
Exactly. And the dust devils and the monsoons. I mean, I try to touch on everything. I'm still writing desert songs. I mean, I think I've published 36 or 40 desert songs, and I still keep coming up with more ideas. So there's a lot
much to talk about.
Yeah, really. So
that's great. So you're going to be singing for us today, and you're going to sing about coming to Arizona.
Coming to Arizona, and this is like the perfect time of year. My sister's visiting right now, as a matter of fact.
My aunt and uncle are visiting.
Yeah,
everybody's visiting.
Everybody's visiting, which is great. I mean, that's one of the great things. Keep in touch with your family.
And which CD is this on?
This is actually on Nighttime in the Desert, which was my second CD.
Okay, you've got 4 now,
I've got 4 children's. 3 of them, the first 3 were totally desert CDs, and then the 4th one, The Pack is Back, is about manatees and dinosaurs and peace and smoking and drugs and anti-drug songs and, you know, just lots of topics, not just.
Okay, and these will all be available, I'm sure.
They'll all be there, so you can come on out and see me, and I'll sign a CD for you. And
that's great.
It should be fun. I mean, they've been celebrating every weekend at Borders all through Arizona. They've been having authors and storytellers and celebrities come and do different things for kids. So it's really neat.
Borders is great about that.
It is, and they have an Explorers Club, you know, where you get one of those cards and you punch it, and then you get a discount. You get $5 off after you make 10 purchases. So it's fun for the kids, you know, and they really promote reading, and they want the kids to come and kind of lounge around and pick up a book and you know, just enjoy being there. Yeah.
Enjoy your music. And we want to hear you right now.
We do.
Okay. Coming to the Desert.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Paddy
you.
Horn.
Saguaro, cactus, ocotillo too, barrel and cholla, just to name a few, are some of the reasons the desert is for me. So come to Arizona, 'cause this is what you'll see. You'll hear coyotes yippee-yi-oh every night. You'll see jackrabbits running in the early morning light. With sunrises making you glad you're alive, and sunsets that'll bring tears to your eyes. We've got Gila monsters, horned toads too, roadrunners, geckos waiting here for you. Bighorn sheep and javelina in the hills. So come to Arizona, you can get your fill. You'll hear coyotes yippee-yi-oh every night. You'll see jackrabbits running in the early morning light. With sunrises making you glad you're alive, and sunsets that'll bring tears to your eyes. You can ride with the cowboys all day long, then sit around the campfire singing western songs, or hike through the desert while the cactus is in bloom. The weather's always fair, so there's so much you can do. You'll hear coyotes yippee-yi-oh every night. You'll see jackrabbits running in the early morning light. With sunrises making you glad you're alive, and sunsets that'll bring tears to your eyes. So next time you're looking for something fun to do, I promise adventures are waiting here for you. I guarantee you'll have a time you won't forget. So come to Arizona, you'll be glad you did. Come to Arizona, you'll be glad you did.
The finished product's gonna go right there.
I think we should get an award. The chefs should get an award today for the most colorful combination.
I know, isn't this beautiful?
That's good. And that means it usually means it's healthy if it's colorful. I've heard. That's a good indication.
Is that true, Irving?
Flavorful and very healthy for you.
All right, good.
And this is Alex, all from Sam's Cafe, and this is an item on their menu. And they have a new cookbook out too, so you can do it at home.
We do. We're talking about the cookbook itself is done in seasons. It's the Sam's Cafe cookbook. The cookbook is a collection of recipes from our menu that we currently have, and then some of the recipes from just our chefs around the country, their own individual recipes.
That aren't necessarily on the menu.
On their own menu, on their own feature menu, but not on our regular menu. So it's done in seasons. We've kind of divided it up into celebrations of spring and summer. So one of the things we're going to cook today is one of the spring dishes, and that's why we're referring to a lot of the colors, some of the fruits and stuff. So it's the chili rub shrimp, and this is an item on our regular menu.
It is.
Okay.
Are the recipes in here fairly easy to make?
Very easy. We've adapted them for home.
Good.
A lot of times with restaurant recipes, that is a problem, but we've adapted them for home.
Okay.
And I think a question a lot of people may have is your dip in there, the dip that comes with your breadsticks, the cream cheese, is the recipe for that in there?
It is.
You're smiling.
See, a lot of people will buy it with that
one of the most requested recipes we have.
And I hear it's very simple.
Yes.
Very simple.
Extremely. And I know what's in it, but I'm not going to say because you need to buy the book. That's the point.
Good plug, Sam. Good plug.
It's great stuff. So how do we make these shrimp kebabs?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start those, and then Irving's going to make our salsa that goes with it. Just a real simple kebab with some fresh vegetables, some peppers and tomatoes, and then 3 shrimp on there.
Okay.
I'm going to get them going on this pan. This is a real nice pan if you for getting it home for doing some grilling, but inside. So you don't have to go
mushrooms
outside.
at the end, we should say.
Little mushrooms to hold it all together. That really helps hold it together. Okay, and then Irving is going to show you how we make the papaya fruit salsa. We serve that with these at the restaurant.
This is, I think, too, what Sam's talking about, that is just so colorful. Look at this. That's gorgeous.
It really is.
You almost don't want to dig in, but you know we will.
The salsa looks awesome. Now, is this a spicy salsa, Irving?
No, it's not.
It's fruity?
Very fruity, great flavors with the papaya, mangoes, and the mangoes and papayas. Yeah.
There's onions in there. I see.
Pineapple. There you go.
And a little cilantro.
Yeah.
That was my next question. All right.
Yeah, I was calling you Allison.
A little bit of
does not like cilantro.
You know, and I always say I appreciate it. I get so many emails from people that say to me, let's start a cilantro haters club. Because I didn't realize how many I felt like I was really kind of an oddball.
No,
but
there's people that just,
really
it's either a love-hate thing.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I can't get
Sam
enough
loves
of that.
it.
I think it's great, but I understand it, so.
I don't know why I don't. I wish that I did, because
it's
it's
in
so
everything.
prevalent out here.
Especially in
Southwestern cuisine.
No kidding. And Thai cooking, they
Absolutely.
love using cilantro.
And we will be having while Irving's finishing that, we're going to be having a Williams-Sonoma cooking demonstration this afternoon.
Oh, you are?
Having the cookbook there, the shrimp as well. So the one at the Biltmore.
Biltmore.
We'll
Okay,
be out there from 11 to 1 o'clock. Our chef from the Biltmore store, Kevin, will be out there.
Oh, okay.
And cooking these same shrimp, have the salsa and the slaw out there. So come by, free shrimp. Can't beat that.
Beautiful day, too, to be at the Biltmore.
Absolutely.
Now, when we say salsa, this is just a salsa that you eat like this. You don't dip anything in this?
No, you don't dip
This
anything.
is just, because, you know, when I think salsa, I think dipping chips or
Right.
dipping something in it.
Right.
But this is just a side dish. Okay, so how did you do this? You have all the fruit cut up.
Combination of fruit, little salt, little sugar, cilantro, squeeze of fresh lime juice. Just combine all of those. Papayas, depending on the season, will range in color from the orange you see here to the deep red that we have on the on our plate.
So how should the outside of the papaya look so we know what we're buying?
This is
Irving?
what the outside of the papaya looks. It's very similar to the mango also, greenish in color. When it starts to turn a little yellow or even reddish, that means that it's starting to ripen up. Got a mango here, which is perfect.
Okay.
This is absolutely
Okay, so you want to see some of that red or
Yes.
yellow
If
on
it's
it.
And the green, you don't want too much green,
No,
right?
if it's too green, it's still pretty much unripe.
Okay.
You just give it a gentle squeeze, and if it yields slightly to the touch, you know that it's good to go.
Okay.
Like an avocado, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay.
Isn't that beautiful?
That really is.
That's a big plate of salsa.
This fruit salsa goes really, really well with the chili flavor of the shrimp and vegetables, and I can't say enough what a great pairing it is.
And it's is it like coleslaw in the middle? I know it's not coleslaw, but I can see the carrots and the onions and the...
It's a papita slaw. An assortment of cabbages, red onions, carrots. we have a very flavorful pepita dressing, and pepitas are roasted pumpkin seeds.
Oh,
so just sprinkling
yum.
those, and it's heaven, you guys. It's a great
And it's healthy.
dish for a springtime, cookout. The weather's
Especially,
beautiful.
yeah, especially when
Those
the weather's warming up and we
Yeah.
don't want something too heavy.
Yeah.
And the chili seasoning you put on here, Alex, what was that? What was
Just
inside
it's a New Mexico red chili powder. We just put a little. Don't put too much. Chili powders can vary in heat, so we
Right.
try not to put too much. And then very, very, very little oil again, so we're not making it too unhealthy. Just low in fat.
You know what?
I think Bruno wants
I'm hungry. Hi, Bruno.
I'm going,
This is
oh, please,
Christy's
Bruno,
dog.
just get down. Just get down.
Bruno's coming around now to get some fallout.
I know he is.
The dog is smart.
Oh.
From hanging around us.
Thank you guys so much.
Our pleasure.
For coming
So you'll
in.
serve this on top of
Yeah,
the
we'll go ahead and
the
put those
salsa.
on there. Yeah,
Okay.
and in the restaurant we serve it with the rice and the grilled corn. So just two different ways.
Grilled corn.
Sounds great. There's Sam's Cafe's number if you'd like to give them a visit. 602-954-7100. That is the one in Phoenix. And Bruno wants a bite. There he comes.
No, honey, no.
That's an indication of how delicious
Yes,
this
it is.
smells.
Yeah. And of course, stop by Williams-Sonoma at the Biltmore because they will be there today as well.
And get a taste.
Definitely. And we're edging toward the 9 o'clock hour. We'll take a look at news when we come back. Welcome to Sunday, everyone. We're glad that you're sharing part of your morning with us. I'm Christy Paul.
And I'm Samantha Moore, and we want to wish you a good morning, Arizona.
Hello, this is Jenna Boomer-Spuckett, and this week's Hurrah for Arizona, we're going to do something very fashionable with some young students. Good morning, Arizona. It's Sunday.
I'm Steve Beaudenay. Should they stay or should they go? The debate continues concerning a herd of antelope in the Prescott area. Good morning, Arizona. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday, March 18th, the year 2001.
Good morning, Arizona.
Good morning, Arizona.
Good morning, Arizona. Good morning, Arizona.
And here is a look at some of the stories that we're working on for Good Morning Arizona for our last hour on this Sunday morning. Melissa Gable from the Humane Society is joining us with a mini Sunday sweetheart named Mario. I don't even know what that is. We'll be interested to find out. And author Alan Jacobson is here. He's talking about his latest thriller, The Hunted. Plus, singer Chuck Pyle is previewing his performance tonight with a little rehearsal here in our studios. Right now, though, meteorologist Samantha Moore's got a check of our weather.
And Christy, it looks like we're going to warm it up today. Temperatures well above normal and getting even warmer each day this week, at least through midweek. High around 79 today. Overnight lows should be in the mid-50s Midtown, down into the upper 40s in some of the cooler valley spots. But right now, it is just after 9 o'clock, and it's time to take a look at news. There's a disturbing story out of Glendale.
The manager of a group home for young boys is suspected of sexual exploitation. Now, this house in Glendale used to be a state-licensed group home for 7 boys between ages 10 and 13. Well, a week ago, the manager, 37-year-old Anthony John Cervantes, was placed on administrative leave. He was suspected of physically abusing one of those boys. When a new manager took over, she then found a private room in the garage.
When she walked into this room, she found a whole bunch of Polaroid pictures, graphic displays of children in provocative sexual positions, this kind of thing, what she would call pornography.
Police arrested Cervantes at his Motel 6 near McDowell and 51st Avenue. They found more evidence there, a duffel bag with more pornographic photos involving young boys. Cervantes is being held at Madison Street Jail on 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. The boys, meanwhile, have all been placed in different group homes, and they are receiving counseling.
A pedestrian was killed during a police chase in Mesa last night. It happened at around 10:30. According to the Tribune, the car the police was chasing was in a hit-and-run crash at Gilbert Road and Southern. When they started following the car down Mesa Drive, the driver, Robert Eimer, wove in and out of traffic. Just before I reached University, Eimer hit and killed a pedestrian. Eimer was flown to Scottsdale Healthcare Osborne Hospital with head injuries. Police say that alcohol was a factor. And a Phoenix woman was taken hostage by her husband after a domestic dispute. It happened yesterday near 20th Avenue and Cactus. Robin and Craig Rogers were staying at a relative's home when the incident occurred. Police say Craig accused his wife of having an affair with her brother-in-law and then began threatening her. According to family members, he threatened her with a 3-inch long pocket knife.
He had a knife to her throat, and he said, "I love you, but I don't want to hurt you." And then I called 911 and the police came.
Rogers allegedly let everyone else in the apartment out, including several children. After 2 hours, police used a taser to subdue the man, then arrested him. No one was hurt in the standoff.
And America's Hispanic population more than doubled in the last 10 years. That's according to the census. And they also say the Hispanic population in America is more than 35 million. Hispanics make up 12.5% of the population now. According to the Washington Post, census officials now think the number of illegal residents in the U.S. could be more than 11 million. That's a big change from the previously estimated 6 million figure.
Well, arson may be to blame for a fire that took the lives of 3 toddlers in Georgia. The fire broke out in a mobile home near East Point yesterday. A set of 2-year-old twin boys and their 8-month-old sister were home alone at the time. All 3 died. Witnesses told police they did not know the children were inside until they saw the parents drive up. The children's father thinks someone he fought with earlier in the day may have torched their home. Investigators have not determined a cause yet.
And at least 1 person was killed and 90 hurt in Iowa when an Amtrak train derailed. Late last night, 2 locomotives and 15 passenger cars jumped the tracks near Corning. That's about 70 miles south of Des Moines. The lack of roads in the area made it difficult for crews to reach the scene. There were 195 passengers and 15 crew members aboard the California-bound train. Everyone who was not hurt was taken to a shelter nearby. Amtrak has set up an 800 number for families only to check on relatives that may have been aboard that train. That number is 1-800-523-9101.
Well, 2 people in New Hampshire had the ride of their lives after what they thought was a safe landing. It happened yesterday in Deering. For an unknown reason, the couple's small plane flipped upside down. Both people aboard got out unharmed. Investigators said the wind was calm and the runway was clear. The weather did not appear to be a factor in this accident.
And the State Historic Preservation Office is coordinating activities this month for archaeology awareness. Now, these events, like this Archaeology Expo in Globe this weekend, focus on the efforts to protect our cultural resources. Kids and adults took part in the hands-on crafts and displays.
You can throw atlatl spears at mammoths, you can come and grind corn, put puzzles, pottery together. We have lots of entertainment. We have lots of Native American selling jewelry and pottery and stuff, and it's just a really good opportunity to learn about the archaeology of the state of Arizona.
Archaeological organizations, museums, and Native American tribes are all participating. Tours of historic areas are also being given. That expo runs from 9 to 4 in downtown Globe.
Well, the Irish folk and honorary Irish here in the Valley kicked up their heels yesterday. And played a fiddle or two as well. Margaret T. Hans Park was filled with a lot of food and entertainment for St. Patrick's Day. And Mother Nature sent her good wishes as well. Perfect for getting everyone in the spirit of Irish step dancing. That's St. Patrick himself. There are plenty of Irish arts, crafts, and vendors. And that's St. Paddy, who is busy chasing the snakes out of the park all day, I hear.
Well, in this week's Hurrah for Arizona, a Valley High School program is letting students see what it takes to survive in the fashion industry.
And as Jana Boomersbach shows us, they're getting some real-life experience for after school.
Basically, what we have to do is move really fast to help the models get their clothes on so that they can get on stage. I like it a lot. I mean, it's a real adrenaline rush. You're like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do that.
Lucretia McKee is in class. Okay, so it's a Nordstrom fashion show, but it's still her classroom. She and several other students are getting hands-on experience through a fashion and interior design program at Metro Tech High School.
Well, I think they take things that sometimes can't be taught in the classroom. They take confidence, they take organizational skills. We have wonderful professionals that are mentoring them, encouraging them.
Nordstrom is just one of several companies that works with the class to give them a taste of the fashion world.
So they can carry these skills into any industry, even if they decide not to go into fashion or interiors.
Personally, I think I'm very privileged to be here, to be able to do this, because I think this is great, because I want to do runway and I just like the behind the scenes.
It's really good because you get to experience it ahead of time instead of just like watching it on TV.
Feels great just knowing that, such a big fashion show for Nordstrom's, that we had a part in it no matter how small.
I think they're learning the responsibility that basically the show is not going to happen unless they actually are present and are doing that job. Do all this work, and then there's all this energy that happens backstage, and we make it happen, and it's incredible. It's like magic.
This experience can be a stepping stone to a job after school.
You have to work hard. You can't just go out there and act like, oh, well, someone's gonna like my stuff, I'll get famous so easy. It's not like that. You have to work really hard and put a lot of time and effort into what you're doing.
It makes me feel really good, really confident that I accomplished something. The model has her clothes on. That's the most important thing. She needs to go out on the runway with clothes. I did good.
And just to let you know, these students are hired as freelancers. They each made $35.
What great experience for them, though.
I know. And what fun.
Yeah, it did look like a lot of fun. Well, when we come back, Alan Jacobson will join us to talk about his new novel called The Hunted.
Yeah, but first, let's take a look at the winning lottery numbers. For the pick, they are 14, 18, 25, 27, 31, 36, and the bonus ball, number 30.
And the Powerball numbers drawn last night were 15, 16, 18, 20, 36, and 18. We'll have a look at your hot forecast coming up. And welcome back. This is the chili rub shrimp that we didn't get to show you the completed look that Chef Irving and Chef Alex from Sam's Cafe put together. And I'll tell you what, it is good stuff. And their new cookbook is available at the store if you want to make this yourself. Get the recipe for that mango, papaya, pineapple relish, salsa, salsa. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers if we can. 9:16 right now, 60 degrees at the airport. The relative humidity at 44%. Winds out of the southeast at 7. The barometer's on the rise. That means things around here will be warming up. Dew point at 38 degrees. On the records page, the record high for the date 91 set back in 1989. Normally we're at 76. And yesterday 75 degrees. Things getting back up to normal. We've had such a cool winter with temperatures running around 5 to 10 degrees below normal. Here we head into spring on Tuesday, and we're going to shoot it up into the 80s. So hopefully we'll have a long enough spring where we can enjoy the 70 and 80 degree temps before we get into those triple digits. It's cool back east in the Great Lakes. Temperatures in the mid to low 20s this morning for overnight lows. In Indianapolis, 24 degrees. Jackson, Mississippi at 40 degrees this morning. Chilly over in the Atlanta area with 38 degrees being reported in at Hartsfield Airport. 42 degrees in Oklahoma City. Denver at 25 degrees. Salt Lake cooling off to 38 degrees overnight. Boise 40, 47 up in Portland, and 48 degrees up in Seattle, Washington. Here's what we have happening today. Lots of thunderstorm activity and much needed rainfall moving into central Florida right now, into the Orlando area, stretching back towards Tampa and St. Pete as thunderstorms pop up along a frontal boundary that's affecting much of the deep south today. And that's why temperatures are on the cooler side throughout much of the east. That cooler air is funneling in right behind that frontal system. Also another trough moving through parts of Texas, bringing some thunderstorms today to central Texas down into the Big Bend region. This is actually the low that moved through here just 2 days ago. It didn't have any moisture for us to see any rainfall to speak of. A little bit of snow in the high country, but it has moved on out very quickly. Big ridge of high pressure building on in, and as high pressure sits on top of us, it warms us up. It compresses the air, and that compression itself actually heats the air, and then also all the additional sunlight that we're getting from the cloud-free skies heats us up as well. So temperatures during the daytime hours probably getting into the 80s for the first time in the year 2001. You can see the ridge setting up here too on the Pacific shot, all the moisture moving into Washington and Oregon where they definitely need the rain. High temperatures today for your Sunday are going to be very nice. Flagstaff around 47, Prescott around 57, Payson 61, and 79 down in Coolidge today. Here's your forecast for you. We're expecting to see things shape up like this. Sunny, warmer, 79 degrees. On into tonight, mostly clear, 55 down to 48 in some of the cooler valley spots. On into tomorrow, warming into the mid-80s. We're just going to jump right in there with gusto as we approach spring. 85 tomorrow, and then on the first day of spring, which will be on Tuesday, just a few fair weather clouds. Temperatures around 86 degrees in the central part of the valley. So indeed, some spring-like weather as we head into spring. It's kind of nice to get outside, sit in a chair or a hammock and read yourself a nice novel, Christy.
Oh, and this is a good one, can I tell you? From chiropractic medicine to best-selling author, Bruno! This is not your segment. I'm so sorry. CNN's even calling Alan Jackson one of the brightest stars in the publishing world, and we are really fortunate to have him with us. Talking this morning, Jack Jacobson, what did I say? Jackson? I've got country music on my mind, apparently. Yeah, no, Alan Jacobson, he's author of The Hunted, and I was telling him, I didn't get a chance to read the book yet, but I have read David Baldacci's book, The Winner, which I thought was fabulous, and David Baldacci is just giving you shining reviews. Yeah. So that's got to be quite an accomplishment for you in this publishing world.
It's great when you get feedback like that from peers. And
only on your second book.
My second book. I didn't even know it was coming. They just informed me. They said, we got this great quote from David Baldacci. Here it is. And I just went, oh, cool. That's fabulous.
Are you familiar with his work?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
How did you go from chiropractor to writing novels, writing thrillers?
Well, it wasn't by choice. I had a degree in English from Queens College in New York. And I always loved writing, but I never thought I would use it as a career. Mm-hmm. When I practiced chiropractic, I had an injury to my wrist and kind of made it impossible for me to continue. I tried to, and I just made it worse. So I sold my practice, made the decision to go back into writing, and here we are 7 years later.
Isn't that something? Now, what is The Hunted about?
A woman woman's husband mysteriously disappears, and she goes in search of him. And during that journey to find out what happened to him, she finds out a series of unsettling truths about his past, things that she didn't know about him. He turns out not to be the person that she thought he was. And when we find out who he really is, everything kind of explodes.
Yeah, and you're really known for your twists and turns. That's actually the quote from David Baldacci about your book.
Right.
How do you come up with this? Where does all this creativity come from?
Well, that's a great question. There's a number of different ways. Usually from the news. I'll see an idea in the paper or on the news that'll spark my attention. I'll sit down and brainstorm for as long as I can. And you play what if. The what if scenario is the most important thing for a thriller author. What if this happens? What if that happens? And so on and so forth. So that when I start my brainstorming session and when I end it, because of what if, it takes me in a totally different path, and what I end up with at the end is so different from what the original idea was. But that's good.
I mean, because that's got to be the hardest thing to come up with. Do you know, I mean, do you have an idea of what the ending is?
Oh, yes.
When you start it?
I must know the ending when I start. And I outline it pretty extensively, although I don't always stick to the outline. Along the way, I'll meander and go off on tangents if a character says something, and suddenly you find yourself going off in a totally different direction. If it's a good direction, I keep it. If it's a bad direction, delete it and come back to the main plot that I have.
How long, being this your second book and your first one, False Accusations, both of them on the bestseller list, we should say,
Right.
How long does it take you to write one novel?
A long time. False Accusations took 3.5 years. Which is exceptionally long. The Hunted was about 2 years, and I'm hoping to bring that down a little bit.
So this is not the obviously last book we're going to see from you.
No.
You're not going back into the chiropractic business?
No, I'm already at work on my third book.
Well, can you give us a preview? What's it about?
It deals a little bit with the FBI. I did 7 years of research with the FBI, and then part of that is evident in The Hunted. And there are some great excerpts and photo gallery pictures on my website, which is, can I say, www.alanjacobson.com.
And Alan, by the way, will be at Brentano's today signing books from 2 to 4. That's, of course, Brentano's at Scottsdale Fashion Square. The number there is 480-423-8717. And it's going to be nice for people to get out there and actually get your signature on that book.
Oh, I love talking to my readers, so it'll be a great time.
Do you get ideas from them ever?
Well, I get emails from all across the world because both books have been published in multiple languages. And
is that just amazing to you?
Oh,
since you kind of stumbled on it.
It's incredible. To think that people in China and Australia and the Philippines, I mean, they're all reading my book. And, The Hunted has, as well as False Accusations, has sparked their passions. They send me an email. Sometimes I don't know where they're writing from until they get to the end. Oh, by the way, I'm writing you from China. Oh,
isn't that
amazing.
Something? Well, Alan, congratulations on all your success. I really look forward to reading the book.
Thank you.
It sounds like it's going to be a good one. And so go on out there to Scottsdale Fashion Square today. Brentano's 2 to 4. He'll be signing autographs, signing his book. Sam?
Yeah, we're going to tell you coming up, Christy, how if you're getting married or you have a friend that's getting married, there's a gown sale today where you can get gowns for very little money. I won't say cheap, but for very little money, and they're beautiful. We'll fill you in right after this. Just pretty. You can bust
When we get married, we'll have a big celebration.
Welcome back, everyone. There's a great sale going on for a good cause, and no bride would mind saving a little money for her special day. And at the Point Hilton's Tapatio Resort today, she can help out also a great cause. Fran Hansen from Making Memories Breast Cancer Foundation joins us now to tell us more about this great sale that benefits just everyone involved here.
That's right. The Making Memories Breast Cancer Foundation grants wishes and memory-making events to women or men who have been diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, which is generally considered to be terminal. And we've collected wedding gowns nationwide as well as all over the world now. We're receiving gowns after being on the Oprah show. We've received nearly 7,000 gowns, and we're selling them here in Phoenix this weekend. We've brought nearly 2,000 with us.
Wow.
And we are selling them at awesome prices and raising money to grant the wishes. And we're looking for local wishes and wishes across Arizona to help grant and to make special events happen for them.
Now, this is an Arizona foundation?
This is a nationwide foundation.
So it happens nationwide. So this is our chance.
This is your chance
to get involved.
Right. We're in St. Louis next week, so we're going across the nation selling these wonderful gowns.
Oh, wow. We want to see some of them
Okay.
because they are indeed beautiful.
Yes.
And our first lady up to bat, we had Laura on in the bump. And this dress is very beautiful, and it's kind of pairs the, it's not as frou-frou as some dresses,
That's right.
I should say.
Right. It's an Italian satin. It has a deep, low scoop back. It's a princess line, and it's very popular. As women across the nation donate gowns to us, as well as manufacturers and bridal shops, we have many of these beautiful, new, more popular styles, but we have all of this. We have lots of beaded sequin, satin, long trains, ruffles. We have everything.
Yeah, just about everything in
Literally
the world.
everything, from size 2 to 44.
Now this one you said came as a result of being on the Oprah show?
That's right. This is a Demetrius gown, and Demetrius, the designer, donated $250,000 worth of wedding gowns to us on a recent Oprah show. And we have those available at the sale. Literally, you're going to save hundreds and hundreds, and in some cases, thousands of dollars. We've had gowns as high as $3,000 and $4,000 donated to us, and our highest price is $599. But $599 will buy a plane ticket for one of the family members to do something like Disney World with their family.
Oh, that is great to
or
know.
a video camera so someone can read stories to leave behind for their children or just to tell their history.
So every penny goes to this great
Every
cause.
penny goes to it, yes.
Look at this. This is gorgeous.
This is absolutely beautiful also. This has the little tiny baby pleats in the bodice, a square back, a sleeveless gown, and the tooling, very popular. We have a lot of tulle gowns. We just have stunning dresses. Everyone will be thrilled when they come out and see what we have. Nearly 2,000 gowns. You can try them on.
Is everyone going to behave themselves? It's not going to be like this wild snatching business, right? I
No.
want that when I saw it first.
Everyone behaves themselves. We have great places to try on, and we take credit cards and checks, and just any way that makes it easy for you to buy, we're here to help.
Now, are there headpieces and
Yes,
such
there's
too,
slips,
accessories?
Yes, slips and veils are the only additional accessories that we have. We're also accepting donations of wedding gowns. If you have a wedding gown, it's 100% tax deductible to give it to us.
That's a great cut. They can
And
bring it today?
They can bring it today, and we will turn it into dreams that will last a lifetime for those families being left behind.
I love that. Okay, Making Memories Bridal Gown Sale. Here is where you need to go. Point Hilton Tapatio Resort from 10 to 6 today. And the number to call for more info is 623-572-4400. Fran, thanks for coming in and
Thank you so
filling
much
us
for
in
having
about
us.
this. And good luck today.
Great, thank you.
And we'll be right back with more. Sunday's Sweetheart is still ahead.
Arizona.
Welcome back, everyone. Time now is 9:33. Time to take another look at news this morning. And communities around the valley continue to come together to support the family of Brett Tarver.
Tarver, of course, is the firefighter who was killed while fighting a huge fire earlier the week. Members of the Gilbert Soccer Club, along with Gilbert, Tempe, Chandler, and Mesa firefighters, spent Saturday afternoon washing cars to raise money for the Tarver family. Tarver was killed fighting this 5-alarm fire on Wednesday.
Several parents wanted to help and show our support and our love for their family and how much they mean to us, and this was a great way.
The group accepted any donations, and all the money raised today will go, or yesterday rather, will go to the Tarver family.
Well, friends, family, and co-workers are gathering tonight for a viewing for Brett Tarver. It runs from 4 until 7 p.m. at All Saints Episcopal Church. Of course, that church is located at 6300 North Central. Tarver's funeral is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the Valley Cathedral at 6225 North Central. The funeral procession runs along Central Avenue south to Washington, then to 19th Avenue and west up Van Buren.
Documents from Fife Symington's 6-year administration are missing. The State Archive Office is trying to track down most of the paperwork from former Governor Fife Symington's 6-year administration. However, the documents seem to have disappeared, and Symington says he has no clue where they went. When Symington resigned because of fraud charges in 1997, he was to submit all letters, special reports, and paperwork to the State Archive Office. The Arizona State Library and Public Records Departments have spent the past 2 years searching, but have only recovered 53 boxes of what should be at least a few hundred.
Well, a lot of folks were out celebrating St. Paddy's Day with a drink in hand, but partiers weren't the only ones out and about. The East Valley DUI Task Force was out too, hoping to keep those who celebrated too much from driving. They set up a DUI checkpoint in Mesa to nab excessive St. Patrick's Day revelers who had chosen to drive.
We came out here from 11 to 2:30. 7 of us, we got 25 in that short amount of time.
The task force had more than 10 arrests last night, and they had 25 arrests on Friday night.
Some top names got together for a special gathering at the Biltmore. Muhammad Ali was on hand for Fight Night, honoring those who've dedicated themselves to finding a cure for Parkinson's disease. Michael J. Fox and Evander Holyfield also showed their support. Host Larry King awarded several people for their involvement, and Ali awarded Fox the Humanitarian Award. To date, Fight Night has raised almost $4 million for charity.
While the final round of the Standard Register Ping shaped up very nicely, the New Moon Valley hosting the event after a facelift, and former U of A star Annika Sorensen got a warm welcome. She shot the best round in LPGA history, a 59. Sorensen also had a 30-foot birdie on number 12, part of a 3 under 69. But C. Ray Pack had some tricks up her sleeve. She shot a 63, then made the shot of the day from about 103 yards on the par 5/10. The eagle hooked around and into the cup, and that meant C. Ray Pack moves within 3 of Sorensen today.
I played some solid golf for 3 days, and I'm really, really happy about that. And you know, leading going into Sunday, that's what matters to me. I'm in contention. I'm ready to go.
Sorensen and C. Ray Pack face off at 3:30 today, with Yuping Lin holding a strong third. Laura Diaz and Kakiko Fujishima round out the top 5.
The city of Gilbert has a new state park.
A new skate park, sure
Skate
does.
park.
And if there's any, if Paul Zimmerman's related to this story,
It's skating.
It's probably going to be skating and not skating. And shredding is the story Paul Zimmerman has to tell you about.
Hey, we're hanging out at the Freestone Skate Park grand opening. This place is awesome. There's going to be pro demos. There's Chris Lewis. Yank over the head.
We look at it from the point of view that many of the kids felt that there was no place in town where they were legally allowed to skateboard. Having been a skateboarder when I was a lot younger, I know that skateboarding is not a crime, and we wanted some place for them where they could be able to do it all the time.
We're saying it's sweet. We love it. Yeah. Dad, the pools are awesome.
Feels like the skate park?
Yeah.
What do you like best about it?
The bowl. Yeah, I like the bowl.
So these skate parks are kind of built like roller coasters. There's some hot spots in here where you can pick up a lot of speed.
Just thanks to the town of Gilbert. It's good to see the town stepping up and taking care of the kids, and I'd like to see more cities do the same.
And I've been waiting such a long time.
We originally wanted it opened as a Christmas present to the kids in the community, and we ended up a few months late, so hey, it's St. Patrick's Day party instead.
They're having fun. The Gilbert Skate Park is located in Freestone Park. That's just south of Lindsay and Guadalupe.
Open 7 days a week, and the admission is free.
Gotta love that.
Nice price.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Sunday Sweetheart coming up.
Oh, have you seen him?
I haven't. Oh, now I've seen him.
Look at this.
Look at the coloring.
Yeah, 2-month-old Siamese mix named Mario.
Oh.
We'll introduce the two of you further when we come back.
Main set?
This is the main set.
Do the thing over here.
Yeah.
The most effectual top cat, whose intellectual close friends get to call him TC, providing its with dignity. Top cat, the indisputable leader.
How can you resist this little guy? Melissa's here with today's Sunday Sweetheart, and this is Mario, little 2-month-old Siamese, and we were saying, oh, he's gonna go.
Oh yeah,
quickly.
Yes, definitely. I mean, if you just look at those little eyes, how can you resist?
He's got beautiful
so sweet.
blue. They're blue.
And that's because he's a Siamese mix. His mom is actually at the shelter. She is what we call a Seal Point Siamese mix, and he, I don't know, I'm not an expert on Siamese, although they're my favorite cats. He looks kind of snowshoe, kind of lynx point, kind of a little mix of everything, but he is cute. You can't say he's not cute.
No, and he's got a real good disposition. Look how calm he is. Usually, a lot of times the animals come in and they're
Freaked
all over
out.
the place
Yeah.
because of the lights and the cameras.
The noise. He's he's fine, and
He's just
actually,
kicking back.
you know, Bruno came over and said hello, and he wasn't too sure about Bruno. He's never been around dogs before, but when they're young like this, they're pretty adaptable. He is good with other cats, and like I said, we don't know how he is with dogs. We don't know how he is with kids, but because of this disposition and his temperament, as long as kids are told how to gently handle a cat, then I don't think there's going to be any problem. I do.
Paws.
Isn't he cute? And those blue eyes. He keeps closing them so you can't see how pretty his blue eyes are.
Wake up.
I do want to mention he has not been neutered. So if you come down today at 4 and you want to adopt him, just keep in mind he's going to need to stay a few extra days at the shelter. So just so that you know that you're made aware of that when you come down. But he's just $65, and that does include his surgery fee.
Now, how many of these little guys
He
were
actually
there?
came in with his mom, and he has a sibling, a little sister.
Okay.
So, and the sister's actually going to be on the media later this week.
Oh,
so,
she is, okay.
But mom's available, and he's available today at 4. So please come down and check him out.
Oh, look at him. He's so tiny. How big do you think he's going to get?
You know, his mom's a pretty good size.
Is
My
she?
Siamese at home is about 13 pounds, so not huge, but he's just so small now because he's only 8 weeks old. He's just a baby.
I wonder if he's looking at himself in the monitor. Like,
I don't know.
over there, he's just like, "What you doing?"
He looks kind of
Will you
mad.
look up? Will you look up so we can see your pretty eyes?
See your eyes.
He's going, "Oh, leave me alone, will ya?"
I want to sleep. When I picked him out today and went and brought him in, he was running all over with his ball, so I guess he must have just worn himself out. He's actually
look
pretty
at that little
playful.
nose.
Isn't he cute?
And now, in terms of his fur too, what kind of? Because it feels just a little tiny bit wiry, just a little bit.
It does, and a lot of times with these kind of cats, I know when I had my Siamese, he felt really coarse, and it just took a couple months, a good diet, and then he softened out.
Oh, did it?
So I expect this fur to get pretty soft in the next couple of weeks. A lot of that could be diet and just the fact that he is so young.
Okay. Oh, well, he is just a very, very well-behaved cat. Go ahead and call the Arizona Humane Society if you'd like more information on Mario. 602-997-7585 and find out how you can adopt him or any of the other animals that they have down there at the shelter. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
So much for coming in. We certainly appreciate it. Again, this is little Mario. And he's up for adoption today, little 2-month-old guy. And there are those blue eyes. Oh, somebody's waking up. Oh, well. Okay. Sam?
Hey, stay with us because coming up, Chuck Pyle is with us. He's going to entertain us. And he said the last time he was here, he played our theme song a little bit. So maybe he'll work on it a bit during the break.
All right, give me a chance.
Give you a chance. That's right. We'll be right back.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
Good morning, Arizona.
Good morning, Arizona. So it's in G. Good morning, Arizona. Is it too rock out? Good morning, Arizona. It's kind of like it's kind of like a tango. Morning, Arizona. I think you need more guitar here. I'm going to move the mic a little closer. Good morning, Arizona. From Phoenix to Sedona, the whole way I tried to phone ya. Good morning, Arizona. It's a pleasure to have known ya. We're ready. Good morning, Arizona. All that way I tried to phone ya. From Phoenix to Sedona. All that time I tried to phone ya. Guess I'm not gonna have known ya, Arizona.
This is Chuck File, and he's going to be at Fiddler's Dream tonight. He's great. We were just messing around with the lyrics a little bit, trying to make Good Morning Arizona a little bit more
A haiku.
haiku.
Yeah, extended.
Yeah, extended. We're going to work on that, too. I think we're ready for some fun new lyrics. Chuck's going to be playing tonight at Fiddler's Dream at 7 o'clock, and it's a great place. I said this is not a fiddle, however.
It is not a fiddle. It's too big. But you know the difference, you know, fiddles and violas are actually the same size. It's just that fiddle players' heads are bigger.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's an orchestra joke, and a bad one.
And a bad one.
Biggity shoon, we got him.
So tonight, what is the event that's going on, or what, how many other people are going to be out there? Is it just you?
It's
All
probably it's just me that's
all
going to play.
about you tonight.
It's all about me.
Okay.
And I think the place holds about 200 people, and it's a concert series that goes on about twice a month that they have. It's held in a little Quaker church. Has nothing to do with Quaker religion at all. It's just I think the rent's cheap.
Yeah. So it's held in the Quaker church just east of 16th Street in Glendale.
That sounds right.
The Fiddler's Dream. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I have
It's
not
really
been there
neat,
yet.
you know, and they have open mics, and I found that traveling around the country, because I'm from Colorado, is that this kind of thing really spawns a really artful community. Like some places have, like they have a poet open, and then another musician open, and then I'll play.
Oh, that's great.
And it starts at like 6 o'clock, and families show up and bring their lunches.
That's very cool, though. It's a
Yeah.
very creative place, I'm sure.
It is.
So how do you describe your music?
I sometimes like to call it neo-folk cop-oak, but actually it's more like southwestern acoustic, I think. People ask me on the plane, they say, well, what kind of music do you play? Just to get out of a long explanation, I always say, well, it's kind of like Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh,
Because everybody knows who that is.
Yeah, and that just kind of sums up the feel a little bit.
Yeah, I play acoustic guitar, and I do it finger style, and I sing in a baritone. So.
And it's good stuff. And you have a CD out.
I do. It's called Keepin' Time by the River. It's my 5th CD, and I'm just about finished with a new one, actually. And
And we're going to play right now. What are you going to play for us?
I think I'm going to play this tune called Stars. It's
Stars?
Yeah, when kids listen to that record, that's the one they like the best.
I bet. And it's timely because we should have a good view of the stars tonight with the clear skies and all that.
That's true.
That's
and
good.
So
Stars.
that'll be good evening, Arizona.
Yeah, then you can sing that verse.
Yeah, that's right.
Chuck File, everybody.
Thanks, Lucy. These same stars shining down on you. These stars I've been wishing on. Do they sparkle and glisten like your eyes when they listen to me play you this song? Tonight I'm calling you in Colorado, out across the prairie sky. I want us together more now than ever. I'm blue, here is why. I love you like I do, 'cause only you are you. There's nothing more you need to be. Tonight above the rain, I'm flying in this plane. You are the gal for me. Everywhere we go, we're gonna dance to this song we live in our hearts. Say you'll be with me, it's a gift you could give me. Is never more to be apart.
Good morning, Arizona.
Happy birthday, Sangalaha. Oh, we're talking about a 2-year-old elephant who is celebrating a birthday he will not soon forget.
Or maybe, we don't know what elephants
do. The Singapore zookeepers threw the elephant a party and invited
dozens of children to the Big Bash. They brought gifts of fruit, cakes,
and birthday cards. Sangaraha is the first male elephant born in captivity in Singapore. His name means royal king, and very fittingly, he received royal treatment. And
he might forget it. I don't know what elephants think, but the kids will not. The kids will remember
He looked
it.
pretty small. I would have
He
thought at
did.
2 years an elephant would be pretty much full
Bigger.
grown,
Mhm.
but didn't look that way at all.
Not at all.
Learned something new today.
I guess so.
And the weather out there, hopefully you will learn, is terrific. Here's a shot from the Space Station Alpha, and the shuttle that is attached to it should be returning down to Cape Canaveral later tonight, weather permitting, although they're getting some thunderstorms there right now.
Look at that live picture.
Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful view of Earth?
Mhm.
I think every meteorologist should get sent up by their station to visit a space station so they can get this view. I mean, this is pure weather.
It would
from
be
the
educational
flip
for
side.
you.
I believe so. Hey, maybe a tax write-off. Do you
There
think,
I think it could
do you
be.
think Uncle Sam would go for that?
I do.
Maybe. Highs around the state today, a little above normal. Close to 50 in many spots along the Mogollon Rim. Payson should be in the low 60s today. Prescott in the upper 50s. Kingman mid-60s. Temperatures in the desert should be close to 80 today as we begin our big warm-up. Here's our forecast for you then. Sunny and warmer. Not in space, though. It's cold. It's very, very cold up there. High around 79 degrees today here in the valley. Mostly clear tonight, 55 down to 48. Looks like they're having a little fun up there. A little fun up there at the space station,
think
jiggling
so.
around. Sunny and warmer tomorrow, 85. Look at that, mid-80s. We're just going to bounce right up there as we begin spring on Tuesday. Some fair weather clouds mixed with sunshine. Temperatures in the 80s for this week. Looks
But
like
at least we're backing off from the 90s.
yeah, at least we haven't reached it yet, but this will be our first 80-degree weather of the year 2001.
I wonder what they're doing up there.
I don't know. Looks like they're having some fun.
They are, and so are we, of course, with Chuck Pyle here in the station.
Mm-hmm. Chuck Pyle's going to be at the Fiddler's Dream tonight, which is just east of 16th Street and Glendale.
In Glendale, right?
No, in Phoenix.
In Phoenix?
16th Street in Glendale.
East Glendale, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so
that's right.
It's Phoenix.
You know, I'm just going to say goodbye because I've been messing up today. So.
That's okay. We love you. We love you. Hey, it's Chuck Pyle. He's going to be singing us out here. Go see him tonight. He's great. 7 o'clock.
Yep. Have a good morning, Arizona.
Bringing you back. Oh, the sad truth is nothing